What's going on? Welcome back to Automotive Anatomy on another offset conversation. Today, I kind of wanted to switch up the environment. So we're in a semi-empty parking lot about 11 at night, 11:30 actually. I know it's not safe to be out here so late, but sometimes you just kind of want to go for a drive and utilize some of the time to reflect and things like that. I'm always reflecting on different stuff, and I'm always reflecting on the things that I'm super thankful for. And one of them is being able to be in a safe city and just be able to cruise around in my old beater. But the actual topic that I want to discuss today is change and how people are afraid of change, and how that can be good and bad at the same time. Sometimes we're afraid to take certain opportunities that may arrive because we like comfort. I feel like most of us, not everybody, but most of us are the type of individuals that like that comfort, and that like that security, and that like that routine and that structure. And although there's nothing bad with that, I feel that at times that can be a disadvantage. I know for myself, at times there was many opportunities that I have not taken, and partly because I was afraid of the consequences. We're constantly thinking about, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm always thinking, for the most part, the things that can go wrong as opposed to the things that can go right. And again, there's pros and cons to everything, but if you start kind of switching some of the things and the vocabulary and the mentality that you have towards certain outcomes, I feel like once you start changing that, then the outcome becomes a little bit easier to accept or to go through. I know for many of us, I'm not at that point yet, but I know in my old jobs I just couldn't wait to just leave. I was tired of the people. I was tired of just the BS I was going through. But at times that was the easiest way for me to continue paying my bills. It was actually it was what I know. So it's almost like somebody who's trying to be in a relationship that is just not working, but maybe you're thinking like, man, I have to start all over with somebody else, and or that person says something bad to you, but then you guys get angry, you guys make up, and it's like, well, it wasn't that bad. The same thing with work. Like, yeah, maybe my boss is not the best, but I already know the job, and I don't have to do, I don't have to relearn something else. And I mean, that's something I definitely have thought about a lot, because sometimes change can be the best thing that can happen to you. At the time, you're probably not seeing it as such. I mean, I know that a lot of people right now, they're struggling and they got laid off, like legit laid off, and the company's not going to open up again. And so now you're forcefully now having to change your routine, change your job, change your income, change the way you go about living your life per se. But I think that once you go through certain events, that fear of the outcome, it varies. I know for myself, at the time I was, take you guys back about 5 years ago. I had 2 jobs, and I was working, and I was paying all my bills for my school, and this opportunity arrived that I could make less money but do something much closer to what I was going to school for. And I remember that I called my mentor and I said, hey, what do you think about this? And he said, well, you think you can take on the challenge? And at the time I was younger, even though it's only been 3 years ago, but there was so much that I didn't know, and I was at the comfort zone. I had 2 gigs that were making me pretty good money. I was paying all my bills and had a little bit of money extra just for a safety net type of thing. That at the time I was like, man, like there's just no way I can let go of this. It's so secure, it's solid. And so that's something that he said, like, hey, like, then stay there. When another opportunity comes around and it fits your idea and the mold of the lifestyle that you want to have, then go ahead and take it. And lucky for me, it did come through a year later, but not everything comes out as perfect, right? Obviously, the gig that I have right now I absolutely love, but it's not specifically in the area that I want to live in for the rest of my life. And the previous job, it was much closer where I really want to live. And so, but at the time I wasn't ready for that change. I was really scared. I was, thinking like, well, what if and what if and what if. And so I guess my invitation to you guys is, first question for you guys, have you guys been in a situation where, a new opportunity arrived and you guys didn't take it, and it kind of, I don't know, maybe set you in a better path, or maybe it didn't. Maybe you're like, to this day, you're kind of thinking like, man, I should have taken that opportunity. It hasn't come around again. But all in all, I mean, I've definitely can say that I'm super thankful that most of my decisions have landed me in a positive way. A lot of people are like quick to say, well, no, if I could do it all over again, I would do the same thing because I am the person that I am, et cetera, et cetera. I'll be dead honest with you guys. If I could do things all over again, hell no, I wouldn't do the things all over the same way, knowing what I know, right? I feel like that there is a reason why you grow as a person, and if I could say, what would I do different? I would definitely do better in school. I would, when it comes to my education, I think I would have continued to do the same thing because I'm passionate about what I do. Other things in my life, I definitely would have done much earlier, like these interviews. I thought about them way before, 2-3 years before I actually started them, and I think that was part of the fear, the what if, what if nobody tunes in. Now I'm in the middle of a parking lot talking to myself and Jackie behind me, and it's all because now it comes natural to just do this. It's just, who cares if, I'm sure that there's a lot of cars actually. There's 4 cars there, there's 2 cars there, and there were some cars upstairs. That's why I didn't do it upstairs, but I'm sure somebody's gonna be driving around or somebody's gonna walk by to their car, and I don't care anymore. As opposed to three years ago, man, that's kind of weird, seeing myself, I can't even imagine somebody looking at me like, that guy's recording and talking to a camera. And so we go through that progression. And so now I'm more confident when it comes to different things. I'm definitely more confident in the way, I guess, I am as an individual, as a partner to my wife, and to work, and how dedicated I am, and balancing my life as well. I think it's very important that understanding that maybe the change that's happening at the moment is not the appropriate one, but when is going to be the appropriate time? And maybe you ask yourself that question, and maybe that's the right time. Like when you feel uncomfortable, you have to make that switch. And for me, it came, like I said, when that opportunity came around, it wasn't the greatest opportunity because the new gig was going to be very good, but it was only for a limited time, and then it was going to be up to, depending if they were going to hire that person back or not, then I was going to have a job or may not have a job. And so I was going to go from 2 solid gigs to one that it's only for a 6-month contract, and then maybe I come back. So a year later, obviously I was given the opportunity, and I've been there for 3 years, but it's 2 hours away from home, where I consider home. And so, but now I don't regret it. I'm like, hell yeah, I took that opportunity, and I've done, I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly trying to get better. But now I have the experience, adapt to a new culture or the lack of culture, and, look for a different place to stay at. And so it definitely helps you grow. Not all change is always good. That the whole saying that the grass ain't always greener on the other side, but yeah, you gotta go and look, because that's the thing. That's how a lot of people keep within their lanes, and they keep so upset with the same gig that they go back to. They dislike what they're doing, but they won't make a change. And so it's like, well, how many people have you guys heard about, maybe it's you, because I know I was like that, complaining, my boss sucks, my coworkers are not the best, what I do, it doesn't fulfill me. But there you are, getting up on Monday and going to work till Friday or maybe Saturday. You're just picking up a check, So it's like you have to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations when you're ready to say, hey, I'm gonna make a difference. I'm gonna go ahead and step out of my boundary, step out of my comfort zone. And so that's what I'm saying. Change is not something that, at least me, I was open to before and that I was comfortable before. And I don't know where that comes from, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's just the way my family kind of always stuck with. You get something that's good and you don't really let go of. I don't know if it's maybe for the fact that we didn't really have that much growing up, and so you got something good and you're like, squeeze everything out of it. But now I'm getting to that point where I am trying to embrace the differences. I am trying to put myself in a situation where it's a new experience. And I know that's easy for me to say just because I don't have kids, right? And I don't have that responsibility, but I've met so many older individuals who have kids, have family, and they leave the work that they were doing for 15 years. And it's like, how do you leave a job for 15 years where you had seniority, you had a really good pay, you had benefits, and now you're doing this? And they're like, I wasn't happy. And it's like, well, okay, but how's that gonna pay your bills? And they're like, well, it worked out. I lower my lifestyle, I save up, or whatever the case may be. The point is that you get to meet different people who have made that change, and it's like, holy macaroni, like, it can be done, and it will be done. And so, embrace change. Have you guys been in a situation where change kind of was forcefully thrown at you? You had to change career, relationships, so and so and so. For me, like I said, I'm trying to embrace, I'm trying to, understand that stepping out of your comfort zone, like I've been doing, can create a lot of great opportunities like I've experienced, which is hanging out with different dudes, learning about different cars, meeting new people, traveling to different cities. 3 years ago, there was no way I was going to do that. And here I am now, like I said, talking to a camera at a parking lot. And now I understand some of those dudes like TJ Hunt and Adam LZ, like you start embracing some of these things and you start talking to a camera and you understand that you're not talking to yourself, you're talking to individuals. Somebody's out there in their sofa, in their bed, driving, listening to this, and if there's any way or shape or form that I can help you guys or motivate you guys, I will do that, and that's the way I perceive this. At the same time, I'm also doing this for me, right? 6 months from now, I go back and watch my videos, especially the ones that I'm just having off the conversations, because I'm trying to understand, maybe at that time that, my mentality was somewhere else and now I see things differently. And it's just kind of a way for me to kind of see my growth, if any growth. And if I don't see any type of growth or any type of change, then maybe I need to start reading more. Then maybe I need to start putting myself in, again, those uncomfortable situations or new experiences, because I know that there's always something positive that will come out of it. There's always negative stuff, right? But there's always positive things, and now you have to start thinking more on the positive side. So if you're ready for that business, I'm not saying start a business tomorrow, get a loan, no, but I'm saying plan. Don't just go out there, or just keep thinking about it. No, don't wish. A wish is, something without a plan. It's just, no, set a goal, plan it out, execute fearless, and if your business goes under within 2 years, you learn something out of it. Simple as that. And that's kind of the thing, that's kind of the reason why I put myself in this situation. Just driving around at night with Jackie, it's a great feeling. I'm 28 and I'm getting closer to 30, and I still enjoy driving this car. I don't enjoy the headaches that it gives me sometimes with the maintenance, but overall I'm still very happy, and this is definitely something that I don't want to change too much. But when the day comes that I have to do something with it, I know that I'm going to be looking at it with the most positive, mentality. So let me know, what are some of the changes or some of the things that you're trying to, change in your personal life? Maybe some battles, maybe losing weight, maybe whatever it is. Talk to me. Let's embrace change and let's look at it from a positive side instead of the fear side and negative. Thank you.